What's up, Trailer Park Boy world? Alright, I have 2 facts for you, and then I'm just going to talk about Trailer Park Boys, of the show and everything. So, the 2 facts is Bubbles does not know his last name, which makes sense because his parents deserted him when he was 6 years old. So, that's probably why he doesn't really know his last name, and he probably didn't figure it out until he inherited that bus from his parents, because it had his parents' full names on the paperwork. And the next cool fact is all those shitisms that Jim Leahy says, like shithawk and shitwins and all that, was actually written by John Paul Tremblay. So that was really cool to figure out. But anyways, I don't know if any of you have paid attention to Trinity's Instagram at all or not, but she actually hinted about another live season. And I mean, a lot of them have hinted that because even Bubbles has posted stuff about it, and Sarah has posted stuff about it, and everyone's just wondering when the heck it's going to come out. Well, I think what they're going to do is they're going to put it out when everyone's least expecting it. Like, everyone's just going to be like, oh, they're not going to do another live season, and this sucks, and I wish they would, and all that. And then, boom, it's going to come out. And they're just not really going to say anything about it. Like, I think they're not going to say when it's going to come out. It's just going to show up, and then it's going to be there. And that's, like, kind of a really cool thing. And I kind of hope it does happen that way, because then it would be this huge surprise, and then it's like, oh, this is awesome. And I would just love that for a surprise. And I can't wait to see what they do next and everything. I wish they would do some more podcasts, because I know they only have 55 podcasts, which is kind of a lot, but I wish they would do more of those because they're just hilarious on those and everything. But I wanted to know what you guys would like to see them do for a kind of podcast. Like, if they were to do another podcast, what would you want them to talk about and everything in that podcast? So, in the comment section below, tell me what you would like to see them do in a podcast and talk about in a podcast and everything like that. And tell me who you would like to see as a guest on their podcast, because I know they have had quite a few guests on their podcast. But if you could pick anyone they haven't already had as a guest on their podcast to be on it, who would you pick? And I also heard rumors that Lucy was coming back to the show when they did the live season, which that would be kind of cool. But I would be surprised if she was coming back to the show, honestly, because of how she left. But it would be really cool if she came back, because, I mean, even though I didn't really like some of the things that Lucy did, well, actually, I didn't like a lot of the things that Lucy did in the show, and she was kind of a weird character. But, yeah, I would actually like to see her come back, because when she left, it did kind of leave a big void, because she wasn't there for Mo, and she wasn't there, like, arguing with Ricky and stuff. And then I didn't really like the Susan character that Ricky started dating. Like, she was completely fucked. Like, she was just messed up in the head or something. Like, I didn't really like her. I mean, it was funny how they always argued and stuff, but she just, I don't know, I didn't like her. And I was I was really hoping that things with Julian and Candy would have worked out, because they seemed like a really good couple. But I guess you can't really date a criminal when you're a judge, especially when he was still doing crimes and everything, and he'll probably always still be doing crimes, because, well, if he didn't, it wouldn't really be the same. The show wouldn't be the same if the boys didn't do crimes and stuff. But, anyways, what if, okay, so if you guys were in the Trailer Park Boys show, like if they cast you as another character, what would you want your character's name to be? And what would you want to do? Like, would you want to go on adventures with the boys and stuff? Or, I know if they do another live season, which they keep hinting at, Leahy won't be in the show, obviously, because he's gone. But if they were to cast another role as Leahy, which I doubt they will, there's no way they could replace Leahy. But if you think you could replace Leahy, put down in the comments that you'd want to be replaced as him. But I don't think anybody could replace Leahy. Like, he's just unreplaceable. I mean, he was drunk all the time. He was a good actress. Like, he was a good actor. He was so good at pretending to be drunk, because even though it seemed like he really was drunk on the show, he wasn't. He was just drinking iced tea and acting like he was drunk. And it was the best thing ever because he was so good at it. I mean, I really believe that he was drunk. I never would have known if I didn't really start looking into it. I probably would have thought that he actually was drunk on the show, but then again, it'd be hard to act at the same time as being really drunk because you don't really know what the heck's going on, which he never really seemed to anyways. While he was acting like he was drunk, he didn't seem to really know what was going on, but he was still able to act his part, and I don't think he would have been able to if he really was drunk, but it's still pretty cool. And I also found out that most of the time they didn't actually smoke weed on the show. They smoked rosemary because it's kind of hard to act long hours when you're stoned, I guess, which, yeah, makes sense. But they did talk about how they did actually smoke weed a lot off of the set before they went onto the set, because that's how they came up with a lot of their best stuff. Like, they would spark a joint and then they would think about really cool things for the show, and that's how it would come about. And that's really cool because it's like, well, when you're stoned, you do kind of think a lot more. So it's like, oh, you know what? This would be pretty cool, and we should do this. And your mind just goes on and on about all these cool ideas. So it makes sense that they would come up with stuff for the show that way, and that's a really cool way to do it. And I'm really hoping that how they teased it, I'm really hoping Trevor does come back like they teased, because Sarah posted on her Instagram a picture of Trevor in jail, and it said, like, we found him, and it was like her, I think it was her and Lucy that were in front of the jail cell, and then Trevor was in it. So that'd be really cool if Trevor came back. I know he left kind of on like a bad term thing because he wasn't getting paid enough, and he said he was being treated badly and everything, but I think it'd be really cool if he came back. But I'm not sure how they would fit that in and everything, because Corey is best friends with Jacob now. So would it be kind of weird between Trevor and Corey, or would they go back to being best friends, or would it end up being a trio where it was Corey, Trevor, and Jacob hanging out? I don't know. It just seems so weird because after Corey came back and everything, and Jacob started hanging out with Corey, they were like just as best friends as Trevor and Corey were. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how that would play out. But anyways, this video has gone on pretty long, and the next ones will probably be longer because I'll have more stuff to talk to you guys about the boys and everything. But anyways, I'm going to end this video now. So like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that. And like I said, comment in the comment section below what you would like to see them do for a podcast, like what you would like to see them say. You can even put where you would want them to do the podcast. I know typically they do it in Ricky's kitchen. Sometimes they have done it in other places, but if you could think of one place that they haven't done it that you would want them to, if they were to do another podcast, where would it be? So you can comment that down below too. All right. See you tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that. All right. Bye.